Dare to walk this path with me? One misstep, and we fall to our ruin. So take your first step. It's now or never!
What is up, YouTube? It's RS Mario here, aka Mr. Better Late Than Never. Because yeah, this video is late. I had to do some stuff this weekend. Not to mention there was Money in the Bank, which took up a lot of time too. But yeah, I did get the video out though. But yeah, so this is the third video and probably the last one covering the big news dump we got from Famitsu. I probably will do something on some of the story bits, but that's more in theory crafting territory than concrete information. I kind of want to keep those separate. You know, I want theories to be theories and concrete information to be concrete information. I wanted it to be treated relatively differently. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's talk about classes. So I'm not exactly thrilled with how they've done classes in Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem Three Houses, because one of the things I like about games like this, like Fire Emblem, like Final Fantasy Tactics, is there's so many classes, a lot of crazy classes. Like, look at some of those guys, the little couple guys or whatever from Final Fantasy Tactics. They have some pretty ridiculous classes that are kind of fun to mess around with. And of course, you can kind of mix and match the abilities and stuff. It's cool. Like, come on, Square Enix. Alright, stop talking about this Final Fantasy VII stuff and get me an HD remake of, you know what I'm saying, old school Final Fantasy Tactics, bruh. Make that happen. I want to see Uber CG, like, you know what I'm saying, those chicks, those flying chicks from Final CG bunny, high-res CG bunny chicks. Back to Fire Emblem. So, yeah, I've not been really a big fan of what they did with the classes in Fire Emblem. I'm not a huge fan of what they're doing with it, but it is interesting though. I mean, so the class system was explained in an earlier video, but this is the classes that they've announced so far. Now, this isn't all the classes, at least I hope not, because on the Fire Emblem wiki, there actually is a place for Thief and Priest classes, which is going to be the White Mage class. And of course, you know, Faith is in the game as like the White Mage school of study. So, I mean, they have to have a White Mage class, but they don't put any of those classes in what we got from Famitsu. So the first one is Mercenary. So mercenaries who fulfill their objective excel in speed and strength. So as an intermediate class, mercenaries specialize in swords and axes similar to heroes in previous Fire Emblem games. This one is a picture of Felix as a mercenary. So mercenaries, I mean, they're kind of like, I guess they're going to be this game's kind of Myrmidons, because we don't have like a base sword user class in this game, which is kind of weird. I mean, I guess the base sword, I can't remember what nobleman and noble and commoner class. That's probably going to be like the super base classes for the game. Next one we have is Cavalier. So riders who ride into battle on horseback. After fighting, they can move again. So this is actually cool. This is actually something they picked up from Civilization. Actually does this. So if you play Civilization 5, I'm not sure if it does in Civilization 6 because I haven't played that much Civ 6. But I know in Civ 5 that horse users or horse units can move after attacking if they have more movement left. This light is bothering me. Why is it tilted? Why is it tilted? But but yeah, so they can actually move after attacking, and so they're bringing that to Fire Emblem, which is actually kind of cool. I doubt that they can actually attack twice because that will be interesting, but they can actually move though. Now, of course, they get the class skill of Kanto, which is actually pulled over from Path of Radiance. It says after performing an action, user can use their leftover movement. So you can essentially hit and run. So if you have like a Cavalier that's relatively weak or something, or if you like say you want to like get some damage in on a unit, but you don't want the cavalryman to stick around, you can have him come in, do the damage, and then split so your other units can capitalize on it and maybe kill the unit. Brigand! So Brigand is an axe fighter with exceptional strength. With their excellent vitality, they fare well on the front lines. So this one's kind of interesting. Since it seems that this is a school for like nobles and stuff, I wouldn't think they would have a brigand class. I think they would call this something else, like warrior or something, you know? But brigand sounds cool, so the brigand has inherited the axe and gauntlet specialties from the fighter class. So that's actually pretty cool, especially if they have a whole lot of strength. They can swap between axes and gauntlets. And you know, I love gauntlets, so I'm gonna have at least 2 of these people in my squad. Brawler. Okay, so he's not called the monk. That's fine. I'll take Brawler, but he's a gauntlet wielder who fights at close combat, close range. They're a gauntlet wielder who fights at close range. They're adept at swift attacks. So their skill is barehanded battle, which means the user can fight without a weapon equipped. So basically, he can literally sight the people. He's gonna be up in this sucker like he was Wade Barrett, just bare knuckle fighting fools, yo. That's gonna be sweet. So of course, the Brawler has some similar to the Brigand, with the exception of being able to use, the Brigand can use axes and the Brawler can't. I would assume that the skills growths are going to be different. Like, I would assume that Brawlers are probably going to be faster, whereas Brigands will be more focused on strength than speed. So of course, you know, Brawlers can get multiple attacks in. So I think Gauntlets, you can get up to 4 attacks in one battle. So I think you would need an exceptional speed stat to pull that off almost every time. So I'm thinking that Brawlers are probably going to be more speed based. Then of course we have the weirdness starts with the magical classes. They don't mention white magic class at all. They just have Mage, which is a practicer of black magic, good at fighting foes with high defense. And their class skill is Fire. It enables you to use fire. If you already learned the ability, it doubles the amount of times you can use it, which is interesting. This one is pretty interesting because we have black magic, dark magic, and white magic. So usually black magic and dark magic are kind of interchangeable. Usually, I mean, they just, in most RPGs, you either use black magic or dark magic. Even though dark magic is more sinister, occult sometimes, but usually they're interchangeable. You know, black magic is more of your traditional JRPG, fire, lightning, ice magic. You know, then you have the dark mage, a practitioner of dark magic, good at fighting foes with high defense, and his skill is miasma, which, miasma triangle, for some reason. Enables the use of miasma. If already learned, it doubles the amount of uses. Now, I can't remember what miasma is. I know it's from Fates, if I'm not mistaken. I know Hex. It basically reduces a void. I remember that from Awakening. But I can't remember what miasma does. But, interesting, though, that they would do this kind of separation. So what does black magic do, or dark magic do? Like, because they don't ever really explain it. Like, I mean, they don't ever really explain what dark magic is, or what makes it different. I assume you'll be able to do things like, maybe like stat debuffs, like things that manipulate people. Of course, Nosferatu is probably going to be a dark magic attack, being able to rip the life force from your opponent. Like your Moira. Everybody's Moira. My will made real. But yeah, those are the classes we know so far. Like I said on the wiki, there is they also have a spot for thief and for priest, even though those classes were not mentioned by Famitsu. But I'll assume they will be there. Definitely the priest class. Maybe not thief so much, but priest definitely going to be in there because what's the point of Faith if Priest isn't in there? I mean, I guess you can have like the Dark Mage use Faith. I mean, like Faith and Satan, I guess. But I don't know. But yeah, this should be interesting. Hopefully, we'll get some more classes. Hopefully, they have things like General and like other old school Fire Emblem classes that come back. But that's about it. My next Fire Emblem video will be hopefully this week, but it might be actually next Monday, because this is a different Fire Emblem video than the ones I've been doing lately. I've been writing it for a while. I hope you like it. That's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, please share, and keep it real.